this time we please ask you to rise and remove your caps for today's playing of the national anthem.
She wanted to race, so I wanted to make sure she had time to get
Afternoon, fans, and welcome to Lemoyne Field for this conference matchup featuring the Golden Falcons of Felician University and your post-University Eagles. Here are the starting lineups for today's game. First, for the Golden Falcons, the graduate long stick midfielder number 00, Jaden Harris. Senior midfielder number 1, Luke Dayton. The freshman attacker number 3, Connor Langdon. The sophomore attacker number 7, Ethan Todner. A senior goalie number 8, Nick Greby. A freshman defender number 18, Declan Olivia. A junior long stick midfielder number 19, Liam Dunn. A sophomore midfielder number 21, Jaden Rios. A sophomore defender number 22, Jim Yulsey. And a senior midfielder number 44, Finn Crocker. The Golden Falcons are led by head coach Brendan Bonacombe in his 8th season. Assistant coaches Cody Hildebrandt and Will Mahan. And now here's the starting lineup for your post-University Eagles. A sophomore defender number 1, Nick Gallery. A freshman defender number 4, John Karras. A junior face-off specialist number 5, Jackson Holden. A junior attacker number 12, Leighton Cook. A senior attacker number 21, Robin McGrain. A senior long stick midfielder number 22, James Sproul. A senior defender number 24, Cam Beckett. A freshman goalie number 25, Aiden Waller. A graduate defender number 44, Thomas Pouliot. A graduate attacker number 51, Hunter McCarty. The Eagles are led by head coach Pat Yanarelli in his 2nd season. Assistant coaches Ethan LePayne, David Robinson, and Sly Manente.
And with that, we will welcome you back in here live at Lemoyne Field. You are watching CACC Conference Lacrosse, a late season matchup between the visiting Felician University Golden Falcons and the Post University Eagles. My name is Chris Del Sordo. Welcome in to the Nest Network here at Post University. We got a good one. The last time these two teams played, it was a fun 16-13 win for Post. Different scenario this season. The Eagles 7-5, 4-2 in the CACC. They can lock up a playoff berth with a win this afternoon. They also can keep themselves out of the 5 seed with a win and some help. For Felician, very narrow playoff hopes that they can keep alive with a win here today at Lemoyne Field. They'll need to win out and get some more help. Taking a quick look at the rosters today, Leighton Cook and Robbie McGrain, the dynamic duo, the Canadian connection for the Eagles, coming in with 83 combined goals. Meanwhile, Felician is led by the tour de force that you are seeing right in the middle of the field right now, number 21, Jaden Rios, the team's leader with 16 goals. He's also a 66% winner on faceoffs. He really controls the offense for the Golden Falcons, but he will be called... No, he draws the violation against Post and will start the ball under possession of the Golden Falcons. Felician in their green jerseys with white buckets, white shorts, yellow trim, white numerals. Post in their home uniforms, kind of in off-white silver with their purple numbers, orange lettering, and orange trim. On the ball right now for the Golden Falcons, Nate Sobchak, a true freshman, coming into action today with 9 goals, and there's Jaden Rios picking right up where we expected him to, getting the feed from Sobchak and tucking it home. That's an early goal for the Golden Falcons, a team that averages 8.5 goals per game. How about 1 goal 36 seconds into the action? Rios, his 17th of the season, and it's Felician leading this contest 1-0. So that goal coming a little too late after the pass from Sobchak. It's going to be an unassisted goal for Jaden Rios, and he has a chance to play make it, take it himself. He wins the faceoff back to Joseph Celentano. And it's going to be Felician with a chance to stack 2 possessions together. But a turnover here as that one's off the heel of Jim Ulysses. He sticks with it, and Ulysses, a heady play. Leighton Cook, quick hands there to deflect that pass. But just 3 seconds to clear for the Golden Falcons, and they get it across with 1 second to spare. So the clear successful in the first attempt, and now on the ball, Luke Dalen. Dayton, a senior out of Haddon Township, New Jersey. One of 5 cybersecurity majors on this Felician University roster. We always appreciate it when a sports information department tells us what major that the players are studying, and it's pretty fun going up and down the list of majors here at Felician University. Some of the standards, there are 2 guys working on their MBA, 4 accounting majors, but you also have cybersecurity, criminal justice. It's a well-rounded bunch playing today for the Golden Falcons. Back to Nate Sobchak. He set up the Rios goal, and we're trying it again. Rios winds and fires. That one misses about a foot high, but closest to it is Ethan Todner, the redshirt sophomore out of Plainfield, Illinois. Really coordinated unit in front of us here on the Felician sideline as the entire team barking out the play call here as the Golden Falcons have just 15 to shoot on this possession. Taking a quick second here before chopping it back behind the net is Dayton. Into the middle of the field, over the head of Sobchak, but backing up the play is Rios. He has 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot, gets it into Aiden Waller, and he makes his first save of the afternoon, and the Eagles will march it up the field. Thomas Pouliot, unmarked in the middle to Zane Parento, and the Eagles are across 1 for 1 on the clear. Here is Ryan DeNike, the team's leader in assists. Just 12 goals this season for DeNike. How about 25 helpers? He scored 3 goals and had 4 assists in the win on Saturday, an 18-11 dub over Bridgeport. McGrain flashes open, loses the ball and his footing. That's solid defense by Jaden Harris, the grad student out of Lorton, Virginia. You always have to keep your head on a swivel when you're dealing with Robbie McGrain. He has 43 goals this season. Harris forces the turnover, but then another turnover committed by the freshman Declan Oliva for Felician, and it's back the other way with the Eagles. 1-0 the early lead here for Felician University as Jaden Rios is 17th of the season. McGrain, that's a thing of beauty. He's in the crease, but 2 flags coming in from the backside of the play. So don't count the goal, but you will count the man-up opportunity about to come as Robbie McGrain takes a shot from the backside. This looks to be a cross-check foul. It's either going to be a 1-minute cross-check or a 30-second push, so we'll wait for the official word from the referee. But whatever it is, it's a man-up opportunity. And Post University loves those. One of the most lethal teams on the EMO in Division II coming in with a 37% conversion rate. So it's not a cross-check. It's just going to be a 30-second push call against Felician. Although 30 seconds, that's plenty of time for this Eagles offensive unit. When you look at the box score for Post, it's a very top-centric unit. They have 5 players with 35 points or more, and then no one else has more than 9 points. So when you consider you keep 6 on the offensive side of the field, not a lot of variety. Oh, there's a wide open look for Brian in the middle of the field. Brilliant pass from DeNike. Shot goes wide. Leighton Cook closest to it as Post trying to capitalize here and get this man-up goal. If they don't score here on the EMO, they'll still have 50 seconds on the shot clock here. McGrain over to McCarty. Back down low to Leighton Cook. Quick feet. McCarty takes the mark. That leaves Cook open. He'll dance behind the crease. He almost stepped into it. Unmarked is McGrain. Shot and score! There's the connection. Leighton Cook to Robbie McGrain. And for the 44th time this season, McGrain finds Twine. He's got 60 points. Cook's got 22 assists. And the Eagles tie this game back up at 1 apiece. Well, you saw Robbie McGrain feel like he scored the first time. He takes the push penalty, which puts him into the crease, but he stays right anchored in the middle of the field and easily the quickest hands on the Post University team. Arguably the quickest hands in the CACC, and Leighton Cook, he's right up there with him. Great pass through traffic and a pretty finish with not a lot of time to get that shot off. The Eagles score that goal with 1 second left in the EMO, and so that will bolster the extra man numbers even further. That brings Post to 16 of 42 on the campaign, 37.5% on the EMO if you're keeping track at home. Here's Luke Dayton, right-handed dodge. Pass to Sobchak, he had the shot, but then it falls out of his cradle. And Gavin Lee, the true freshman from Long Island, on the ball for the Eagles. A lot of youth in the defensive unit for Post University hasn't really hurt them. In fact, we've seen a lot of young players really develop in their roles. Gavin Lee, one of them. Van George, a great defensive midfielder. And John Karras, the true freshman. He could start every game here at Post University for his next 4 years if he wanted to. That's how solid number 4 looks on the defensive end. So a lot to be excited about with Coach Iannarelli. I think we had a quick hitch on. No, okay, so we're right back into play here. Nothing changing on the game clock or on the shot clock. And the Eagles back to Hunter McCarty, the NAIA transfer out of Concordia, who is on a milestone watch today. He comes into action with 195 career points. He got 45 of them already this season at Post. Diving in is Gabe Roman with a pretty little chop step dodge. His shot bounces well over the net. Roman, a transfer from Division III Eastern Connecticut State. He was a freshman last year for the Warriors, recorded 18 goals, solid player, taking the step up to Division II, and hasn't missed a beat. McCarty wanted to get that shot off. Harris with phenomenal defense. It knocks McCarty down. He has to go back out to Bryant away from the play. McGrain shovels it over. The ball finds Ryan DeNike, still 40 to shoot from behind the net. DeNike flutters that pass. That was to no one in particular. Not the smartest play for Felician, but it's effective as Anthony Torre gets the dish. I believe that was Celentano, yes, the senior that had the ball, attempted a no-look shovel over his shoulder. Interception by Sproul. Man open is McCarty, and he can't get the shot off. But Sproul wins the race to the ball behind the play. He's able to stay in bounds. James Sproul, a senior out of Aurora, Ontario, Canada. And you can see the long pole there. He's primarily out there to play defense, but he can influence the offensive action as well. He's only taken 4 shots this season. That was his 5th, but he came into action with a goal and an assist. Possession ceded by the Eagles now, and so Felician in this 1-1 tie going back the other way with the redshirt junior Liam Dunn, the Murfreesboro, Tennessee native, on the ball here. He hands it off to Nate Sobchak. Looking for Todner. Instead, it's Rios on the left side. Screen set by Sobchak. Rios goes for the left-handed shot and pulls this one just wide. 4 shots taken by Felician so far. 3 of them by Jaden Rios, the sophomore out of Stony Point, New York. Just scored his team-high 17th goal 36 seconds into this game. Connor Langdon, the redshirt freshman, spinning to try and find some room. Thinking about that long shot was done. Still has it. Left-handed shot. Waller with his second save of the afternoon. Goes high. Meets Dunn at the summit. Collision there between Sproul and Gallery. And that pass was intended for Roman. Just evades him. The read there from Jim Ulysses. And the clear good for Felician. It's promptly fumbled but picked back up by Finn Crocker. He spins himself into some room, and Felician, really solid job quickly shaking off the save by Waller, getting Ulysses activated in the defensive midfield. He intercepts the pass, and the Golden Falcons another chance to retake this lead with this game still tied. Head fake for Luke Dayton. Goes behind the net to Todner. Up top, Crocker. Jab step, shot and score! Finn Crocker. Faked left, fake right, back to his left, shoots to the right. A lot of misdirection there. And the 12th goal of the season for the senior out of South Hamilton, Massachusetts. Jaden Rios is 17th, now Finn Crocker with his 12th, and the Golden Falcons leading this game 2-1. Yeah, that was Ethan Todner directing traffic behind the net. He was able to find Crocker on the near side post, which allowed Crocker to do some dancing and get that shot off. So you can give Ethan Todner the assist on the play. He's up to 15 points on the season now with 9 goals and 6 assists. Big face-off win for the Eagles. That's their first in this game, as Felician and Jaden Rios had been 3 for 3. Connor Denny, talented freshman out of Fair Lawn, New Jersey, joining the offensive attack for the Eagles. He's a player who they've been trying to really initiate into their offense, especially recently. Ball finds DeNike. He's the quarterback at the top of the offense. McGrain and McCarty, you can find them operating from behind the net. And the high-low balance between those three really balances the goal-scoring opportunities for the players on the wings, Cook and Bryan. Strong defense by Luke Dalton, who's striding back to the defensive side of the field. Normally see him around the net. Not sure if that was by design or by necessity. But holding the fort down here with the Golden Falcons holding on to this one-goal lead. McCarty into the middle. Had Denny. Oh, wow, this one's going to skip over the line. This is going to be a free clear into the zone for Connor Langdon and the Golden Falcons, as once again the Eagles, for the second time, just lose the ball out of the offensive zone. It's a confident unit here for Felician on their sideline after coming off getting that stop. And they have a chance to really influence the early going in this game here. They've held the ball for what feels like 75% of the action. And now Nate Sopchak on it for the Golden Falcons as they try to stretch this lead to 2. He's working against the fellow freshman Zane Parento. Spins back to his right. Has done. That pass gets deflected on the way in. That looks like Connor Langdon fighting on the end line for it. Wow, players hitting the deck. We have an Eagle on his back all the way out of bounds. I'm going to make sure he's okay there back behind the play. Ball will be ruled out of bounds off Felician. Post has got to go the whole length of the field for the clear, but they get a big stop, and they get themselves a chance to tie this game back at 2. Post won its last game on Saturday. A icy, snowy, windy affair against the University of Bridgeport. That game, a score of 18-11. At one point, it was 11-10 Post, and the Eagles scored 7 of the game's final 8 goals to get that 7-goal win. Tried to find the cutter there in McGrain right in front of the net. Instead, he loses it. McCarty chasing the backside of the play, but it's a successful clear for Celentano. But no whistle, the Golden Falcons won it instead. That's great defense by the true freshman Will Bryan in the midfield. Forcing another turnover. We haven't even played 10 minutes of lacrosse. It has not been a clean game. There have already been 11 turnovers committed. 6 by the Post Eagles, 5 by the Felician Golden Falcons. Post a rather stagnant start offensively. They've taken 4 shots. Only 1 on the frame of net. It was a goal scored by Robbie McGrain, but Greeby has not been busy in the net for the Golden Falcons. Cook spinning right in front of the net, and I think he just took that shot too quickly, misses it wide of the near side post. McCarty on it, still with 40 to shoot, gets the pick. Angled shot and scores! He makes it look so easy, does Hunter McCarty. Kind of looks off the pass behind the net, takes it himself. He loves the right-handed shot, and he puts some extra mustard on that one. For the 26th time this season, it's Hunter McCarty finding twine. And the grad transfer out of Oxford, Michigan, now just 4 points away from 200 in his career, and this game tied back up at 2 apiece. You talk about the big 3 goal scorers of Post University. Leighton Cook, Robbie McGrain, Hunter McCarty have now combined for 109 goals on the season. You know that the offense is probably going to go through one of those 3 players, if not Ryan DeNike or Will Bryan, and yet there's just nothing you can do about it because of the talent top of the line. It looked like Felician was pretty keyed into what McCarty wanted to do on that shot, but he got to his mark, and he gets the shot off and over the shoulder of Greeby. Another pass intercepted. This time, that's Gavin Lee, his second big play on the defensive end for the Eagles. DeNike onto the field. The Eagles just avoid an offsides as now Ryan DeNike is able to amble down the right side alley and survey this scene here. Post hiding Will Bryan on the near sideline, so he'll get the ball right in front of the Felician bench. He wings it all the way across to Van George. George on Saturday was mainly defensive midfielder, neutral zone clearer. This time he gets an assist. Ryan DeNike finds Twine as Van George draws that defender out, slips it over to the goal scorer, and the junior from Putnam Valley, New York, tucks home his 13th of the season. Ryan DeNike from Van George. That's the nature of this post offense. It can take some time off, and it can flip the switch, and it can find itself a goal. Eagles 3, Golden Falcons 2, 3:42 left to go in the first quarter. There's another face-off win for Post. Jaden Rios had won the first 3. He has now lost 3 in a row, but turned over by the Eagles as Nick Gallery couldn't track down the pass. Dalton, though, feels the ride of John Karras, who I mentioned is just a true freshman. You'd never know that by watching him play lacrosse. Brilliant play, another turnover forced. Both teams have now committed 7 turnovers. So that's 14 turnovers in a game that hasn't even been going on for 12 minutes yet. Eagles up 3-2. They've scored the last 2 in this contest. Felician took a 1-0 lead off Jaden Rios' 17th goal of the year. The Eagles answered with a man-up goal by Robbie McGrain, making it 1-1. Finn Crocker scores his 12th goal of the year, and then 2 goals in a row from Hunter McCarty and Ryan DeNike. Clearing out some space here for DeNike. He feels more comfortable kind of attacking from the top in, and so they reorient the look to McCarty. Now Will Bryan, the true freshman. 35 points for the true first-year player, 23 of them coming from goals. He also has 12 helpers. Oh, great read there by Dunn, knocking it away from Leighton Cook. But it will stay with the Eagles as that pass gets deflected. 21 to shoot. What can Ryan DeNike find? No, pardon me, that's Bryant to Cook. Oh, it rings off the crossbar. Closest to it, Post University. And that gives Post 60 more seconds to shoot after that one hits off the equipment. DeNike behind the net. Looks over his left shoulder. Spins back, right hand free to McGrain. Quickly out up top to McCarty. McCarty feeling the ride of Ulysses. Back over to Bryan. Bryan working one-on-one on Liam Dunn. Over to Ryan DeNike. Now this is Gabe Roman. Man in the middle. Bounce shot goes just wide. McGrain to Cook, and the save is made by Greavy. No, it's not. It's over the line. You can count it for Post University as Leighton Cook. It looked like he got robbed with a shoulder save. It bounces under Greavy and rolls across the line. And the Eagles, they kind of lucked into that one, but they'll take it all the same, and they lead this game now 4-2. So you can give that goal to Leighton Cook, his 41st of the season. Him and Robbie McGrain just neck and neck in this team lead of the points race. Cook's got 62, McGrain's got 60, and Ryan DeNike's got 2 points today. He scored the 3rd goal. He assists the 4th. You hate to see that for Nick Greavy, as he didn't have to make any saves in the first 10 minutes of the game. He still hasn't made a save now as 4 balls have gotten past him. And that one looked like he was going to keep Cook out of the net. Jackson holding the faceoff man gets called for the unsportsmanlike. That's going to be a 1-minute-long, unreleasable penalty. Perfect timing if you're the Golden Falcons here with 1:38 left to go in the quarter. So essentially, you've got the ball the rest of the first quarter if you want it, and you have a 6-on-5 advantage for the first 60 seconds of that. Crucial possession coming up here for the Golden Falcons on offense, and it's Dayton looking over to Jaden Rios. They'll reverse the field to Finn Crocker on our left. Ethan Todner flashes open. That shot from Crocker put in quickly, going just wide. Todner behind the net, where he'll walk it back in. Ethan Todner, the Plainfield, Illinois resident. went to North Greenville, which is the D2 school in the Midwest. That one got behind Waller for a second. It looked like Dayton beat him, but it lands on the outside of the post, allowing Waller to circle back around and put it back upfield for the Eagles. Clearing has not been a sure thing this afternoon. Both teams 4 of 6 on the clear. And as I mentioned, that Nick Gallery makes that one look rather easy. And here comes Ryan DeNike. There's still 10 seconds on the penalty against Jackson Holden. Post will be able to kill that off. There's the dichotomy of the two teams on the EMO. Felician, 29% on the season. Post 37. That's actually very good numbers on both sides. Post 1 for 1 today. Will Bryan, now he's going to feel a double team. Trying to evade Celentano. He does. Spins it up high to McGrain. The Eagles trying to wind out the clock here because there is an 11-second difference, and so they will be able to start the second quarter with the ball as McCarty takes it right around Ulysses. And that'll take us to the end of the first quarter. An early start for the Golden Falcons, an answer from the Eagles. We still got a close one here at Lemoy Field. 15 minutes down, 45 to go, and Post University leading Felician University 4-2. We'll have the second quarter action for you right after this. You are watching CACC Conference Lacrosse from Post University on the Nest Network. And so we will welcome you back into Lemoy Field. Time for the start of quarter number 2. Post University on the ball, still trying to kill off the remnants of this Jackson Holden unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. They have 12 seconds left on this possession. I might try to put one on to beat the shot clock, but we'll see. Post with the ball. They lead this game 4-2. Post outshooting Felician by 1 in that first quarter, 10-9. 5 shots on goal for Felician. 3 saves made by Aiden Waller. They will, it looks like. No, they won't. Hunter McCarty might take a long shot here. Save is made by Grebe, so he gets his first save of the afternoon. And the Golden Falcons will wind it back the other way. That looms large, the fact that Grebe didn't make any saves in the first quarter. It looked like he did stop Leighton Cook on what ultimately was the 4th goal of the quarter. The ball hit off his shoulder, and it looked like it bounces underneath him. What a stick check by Sproul! Oh, completely loses the equipment off Jaden Harris, and this springs the Eagles the other way. McGrain capitalizes. Oh, it's so easy when Robbie McGrain can run right down the middle of the field for the 2nd time today. And the 45th time this season, Robbie McGrain finds Twine. James Sproul got that started, gets the pass to Cook, Cook to McGrain, and the Canadian connection paying it off yet again. Robbie McGrain's 45th goal of the season, and for Leighton Cook, how about 23 helpers on the year? Eagles 5, Golden Falcons 2. It's such an even output of scoring all the time for Post University. Ryan DeNike has 2 points with a goal and an assist. Robbie McGrain has 2 points with 2 goals. Leighton Cook has 3 points today with a goal and 2 assists. They lead from the front. You know who you need to look out for, but it's hard to stop them, especially when you have senior leaders like James Sproul, so good on the defensive end. Just an impressive stick check. Made Jaden Harris, 0-0, stop in his tracks. Had to pick up his stick, and that sprung the 6-on-5 the other direction. Felician got a quick start. Now they've been pretty far away from the net. Waller putting some effort out there to try and win the race with Todner to the ball, but it will stay with Felician with 43 to shoot. Waller's looked good in net so far for the Eagles. 60% save percentage so far today. Wow, Dalton had a look in front of the net, and then he spins over the wrong shoulder. He throws it out of the zone where it will be touched by Felician. McCarty quickly ahead to Cook, and he puts it just wide. Oh, that was a huge opportunity for the Eagles to really start sending the message in transition. And Cook had a chance for his second goal and 4th point of the afternoon. Big break there as that one misses just wide. The offensive 6-4 post on this possession, Gabe Roman, Will Bryan, Ryan DeNike, Robbie McGrain, Hunter McCarty, and Leighton Cook. Ryan DeNike by himself, shot and score! Oh, the Eagles having fun now as we've hit quarter number 2. That was the other side of the field, folks. My apologies on that. Will Bryan with that left-handed shot. DeNike started the play, gave it off to Bryan, who ambled to his right. Left-handed shot. And now Will Bryan joins the fun. The true freshman, 24 goals on the campaign and post. They took a while to get started this afternoon, but they're feeling it right now. 5 straight goals for the Eagles. They lead this game 6-2 as Bryan, his 24th of the campaign. This is a really connected unit in front of me here on the Felician sideline, and up against it right now. As the Eagles try to pull off the fake ball trick, it was read very well by Shane Abrams on the defensive end here. Gabe Roman gets a pick from DeNike. He falls down on the play, peels himself back up. McCarty gets the screen from Roman. McCarty wants that right-handed shot, puts it just wide of the net, but McGrain closest to it. But as I was mentioning, this Felician team, I mean, they were as amped as could be after they got that 1-0 lead. And since they haven't lost any of their edge, it's just now more of a, supportive vibe right now. They're trying to pick up their teammate, Luke Dalton. Felt like he might have let an opportunity slip away, and then it led to a goal. Talk about an opportunity leading to a goal. Ryan DeNike, his second assist, 2 goals in less than a minute for Will Bryan. And the freshman's got 25 in his first ever season of college lacrosse, and Ryan DeNike has 27 assists and 40 points on the campaign. Timeout on the field taken by Felician. That's their first of 2 available, and we'll take a quick break as the Eagles, 6 in a row, they lead this game 7-2. 12:15 left to go in the second quarter from Lemoy Field. We'll take a quick break. My name is Chris Del Sordo. You are watching CACC Conference Lacrosse on the Nest Network. Well, we rejoin the action here at Lemoy Field. My name is Chris Del Sordo, and it's a bit of a moment of reckoning coming up here for the Felician Golden Falcons. They led this game 1-0. They led this game 2-1, but now 6 goals in a row from Post University. 2 from Will Bryan, 2 for Robbie McGrain, 1 apiece for Hunter McCarthy, Ryan DeNike, and Leighton Cook. And Ryan DeNike and Leighton Cook quietly are each up to 4 points today with 1 goal and 3 assists apiece. George comes out of the fray with it. Slings the pass over to Charlie Foster after securing the face-off win. And now James Sproul. So confident with the ball in his stick, the long pole carrier in his senior season. Bryan aiding the clear effort, and he'll angle it back into the middle of the field all by himself. This was similar to the game against Bridgeport University on Saturday, a game that Post at one point only led 11-10, but they scored 7 of the last 8 goals in that game to win 18-11. DeNike, 4 points already today. The junior out of Putnam Valley, New York. Over to the freshman, Bryan. Bryan, left-handed shot, left-handed score! 3 goals in a row for Will Bryan, and Ryan DeNike continues to be the distributor supreme for these Eagles. He's so quick on his feet, slides the pass over to Bryan. He could have gone anywhere with it, bounces it low to low to beat Grebe. 8 goals for Post. Still only 1 save made by the Felician goalkeeper, Nick Grebe. Bryan's got himself a hat trick. DeNike another dime. And the Eagles starting to run it up here as we still have 11:31 left to go in the second quarter. Jaden Rios with the face-off win. Celentano helped clear out space for him. This feels big for Felician. They've been even in the center circle with Post, but more recently it feels like they just haven't even been able to start their offensive possessions. Clearing has been difficult for Felician. They're 5 of 8 today. Post University, 6 of 8. Sopchak, right-handed dodge, fakes the shot. He gets marked step for step by Gallery. Todner comes over, high pass, but he pulls it back in. Ethan Todner. Surveying his options, the Golden Falcons keep it wide around their offensive perimeter. Finn Crocker has one of the 2 goals today for Felician. Rios is 17th. That made it 1-0. Crocker is 12th. It actually gave the Golden Falcons the 2-1 lead. It's been 7 straight for Post. Felician still sounding confident on their sideline. Got to try and find Twine here to keep this game alive. Rios, pass is deflected by Pouliot. Pouliot and Roman, a pair of Division III transfers out of the Little East Conference. Thomas Pouliot playing at Keene State College. Gabe Roman at ECSU. And it looks like, I mean, they fit right into the Division II game. 2 seconds left. Shot clock violation forced by the Post Eagles. That is the first in this contest. And the defense who has committed, forced 3 shot clock violations. The Eagles still haven't committed any themselves. It's a big part of their game this season. Kind of putting the clamps on you throughout the entire defensive possession. And you can see some frustration starting to build on this Felician sideline. That possession, it wasn't disjointed. It just never got close enough to the net. When you look up and see 3 seconds left on the shot clock and the ball bounding out of bounds, it's just not what you want in a game that you find yourself down 8-2 in. DeNike has done whatever he's wanted to offensively today for the Eagles. Him and Bryan have been really dialed in. I'd say the 2, most limber, most lithe, quick on their feet type of players. Roman thinking shot. Now it's a pass over to Bryan in the middle, and there is a save for Grebe. Just his 2nd of the afternoon, but that's got to feel good for the senior out of Farmingville, New York. Harris gets the clear across for Felician. Remember, they have allowed 7 straight goals to Post University after leading this game 2-1. Big stop defensively for the Golden Falcons to give themselves another chance to keep this a 5-goal game. Very vocal from the Golden Falcons coaching staff. Brendan Bonacum, the AD of athletics at Felician, also the head coach in his 8th season for the Golden Falcons. He's up there with Cody Hildebrand and Will Mon. Crocker just gets spun around defensively by Parento. Zane Parento, a really talented short stick defensive mini. Crocker shot saved by Aiden Waller. He's allowed 2 goals, but he's made 5 saves now. Aiden Waller, the true freshman for Post out of Little Britain, Ontario, Canada. He's carving out quite a role for himself here on campus, as that job is his. Seems like he's got no plans of giving it up, as he's made 5 saves and 7 opportunities. Coming into action, Waller under the 9-goal mark, 8.99 goals allowed, and a 57% save percentage. He's gotten 7 of the 12 decisions for Post University this season at a stellar 5-2 record on the campaign. Nearing the halfway mark of the second quarter here, 4 goals scored, all of them by Post University. It's a hat-trick day for Will Bryan, 2 for Robbie McGrain, and 1 apiece for Ryan DeNike, Leighton Cook, and Hunter McCarty. But Cook and DeNike have been busy, each with 3 assists apiece. Jaden Rios has been busy. That's his 2nd goal of the game and his 18th of the season. That puts some life into this Felician sideline. They get one back after a couple of defensive stops in a row. Let's see if that sparks some momentum for the Golden Falcons. They're back to within 5, Post 8, Felician 3. Jaden Rios practically the lone face-off man for Felician. Post University has 2 in Foster and Holden, and Rios has gotten the better of both of them today. And this frees up a look down low, and the pass evades Drew Geisinger. He's a player with 2 goals, 2 assists so far, playing in his 9th game on the season. And that opportunity came very quickly as Celentano helped out with the clear on the face-off win. He got that pass over to Geisinger before he was even ready for it, but he had a chance for the shot. He couldn't corral the pass, though. Costly turnover for Felician. That is now 12 of them in this contest. Post was kind of with them step for step, turning the ball over in the first quarter, but just 8 now for the Eagles. Roman looks across to DeNike. Ryan DeNike. Step past his man, right-handed shot. Wow, he tries to go cross the face of the goal to the far post. That one misses wide. Anthony Torrey with the face-up defense there on DeNike. McCarty behind the net. Screen set. McCarty keeps the hands free for the right-handed pass. DeNike corrals it, quickly gets himself away from the net, which frees up some more space for McCarty. He wants this one-on-one look on Torrey. Jab step, right-handed pass, up high. Losing it momentarily was McGrain. He gets it back. He's trying to use the referee as a screen. Ultimately has to turn it around to pass it in before the half-field line. Bryan, around everybody. Shot is saved by Grebe. And the ball going back to Felician. Jaden Harris goes across the field to Celentano. Now onto the field. Wow, that's a tight pass there for Dalton. He never saw it. Tries to take a whack at it. This is going to be tough for Celentano. Dalton's going to get another opportunity. You have to worry about James Sproul and the prowess on the stick check, but Dalton finding that extra gear. So Felician, the clear is successful. 8 of 10 today, Post 9 of 10. Can the Felicians stack 2 goals together here? Crocker fakes the screen. Now he uses the screen, tries to get to that strong right-handed shot. Instead, the pass is over to Dayton. Diving in the middle was Van George, and then smart play to not put stick to ball and allow it to go out of bounds. Another turnover force. They're really starting to pile up for the Golden Falcons. 6 of them in the first 10 minutes here of quarter number 2. As we're 20 minutes into this game, Post University looking rather dominant, especially in this second quarter, holding this 8-3 lead. Post one game after this, they will go down to Philadelphia to play Chestnut Hill College, a game that will very much dictate who gets the 3 seed in the CACC Conference Playoff bracket. Roman thinking long shot, bounces it, save is made, McGrain gets the rebound and puts it in 5-hole for the tuck. Oh, his hands are so fast, and he was able to read that ball after the save was made by Grebe, keep the hands low, and just bowl it in 5-hole. For the third time today and the 46th time this season, Robbie McGrain finds twine. Eagles back on the board, and they're back up 6. It's 9-3. So it's a double hat-trick day for the Eagles as both Robbie McGrain and Will Bryan have 3 goals apiece. One for Denike, one for Cook, and one for Hunter McCarty. John Karras, strong defense there, but he can't free up the call from Jaden Rios. Rios reaching over to that right shoulder after he took just a litany of stick checks there from Karras. Sideline asking for the call. He's off the field. 6 fresh on. Long shot for Felician. Big save for Waller, his 6th. As that was Liam Marvin Abreu onto the field, letting that one rip down the right alley. Save is made. Gallery all the way. Shot is blocked in front of the net. Harris, who blocked it, is going to scoop up the ground ball, and now he's looking to spring the Golden Falcons back in the other direction. Looks back to his goalie, Nick Grebe. Grebe lofts it over the head of McCarty. Tough play for Todner, but he's able to evade McCarty and his stick. Huge check by Brown, but the referee on the far side of the field throws the flag. Referee closest to the play didn't mind it, but a little too much body applied there for Brown, the grad student out of New York City. And that will lead to the second man-up opportunity coming up today for Felician. So Jalen Brown in the sin bin for the Eagles, a 30-second penalty for a push from behind, but that will give the Golden Falcons a big man-up opportunity here. We mentioned Post, they're not just best in the CACC, they're a top 10 team in Division II, scoring on 37% of their EMOs, but Felician, 1-for-1 today, they are also a 30% team on the EMO. Very good numbers. Oh, but a huge turnover forced by Sproul. That's his 3rd turnover force today. They have all come at the perfect time. And now Post, a gift-wrapped opportunity to just kill off the remnants of this 30-second Brown penalty. Clear is good as Leighton Cook helps the cause. He throws the jab step for 4 seconds before passing it over to McGrain. That kills off the Brown penalty, and we're back to 6-on-6 lacrosse. McGrain fakes the handoff to Cook. He has it himself. I don't know if they realize that. Now Cook with it behind the net. Shot and score! Will Bryan, limited angle, no worries. That is his 4th tuck of the afternoon. It's Leighton Cook's 4th assist of the afternoon, and Post University up by a football score, 10-3. It's a game to remember already for Eagles freshman Will Bryan. He has 4 of Post's 10 goals today. 27 on the season. His next point will give him 40 on the campaign and will make it 5 different 40-point scorers for Post. You don't see numbers like that often at any level of NCAA lacrosse, and you know, it's kind of a big 5 offensively for the Eagles, but they haven't been slowed down, any of them, all season long. Post finding its stride here later on in the season, flag on the field, and so another delayed penalty means Post will either score here on this possession or will get a man-up opportunity. That shot goes wide. And so the play halted momentarily. That is a 1-minute penalty. It is a slashing call on Jaden Rios. I believe they said it was 21 on the play. And so one of the best two-way contributors, the leading goal scorer to boot for Felician, he's stuck in the sin bin for a minute as we have just 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Felician scored a goal 36 seconds into this game, and they have since scored 2 goals over the next 27 and a half minutes of lacrosse. The Eagles defense, we've seen some slow starts out of them, but it seems like rather quickly they've been able to find their balance. That's the story again today. Denike behind to Cook to McGrain. My goodness, that was so easy. Cook his 5th assist of the afternoon. Robbie McGrain, he's so good in front of the net, he can basically touch place the ball where he wants it to go. This time he goes top left corner. It is the 4th goal of the day and the 47th of the season for Robbie McGrain. And if you're keeping track at home, 5 Leighton Cook assists. Eagles are kind of starting to run it up here at Lemoy Field. It's 11-3. Going to be interesting to see the approach for the Golden Falcons here. You know, 1:40 left to go in the second quarter. They do win the faceoff off a violation. And so, do you try and score quickly here, or do you just want to wind down the clock and maybe take later shots in the possession? Either way, you need to score 1 to start the comeback efforts. Post University has scored 11 of the game's last 13 goals. Spinning, shooting, Sobchak, he is saved by Waller. Aiden Waller diving all over the place. And a backside push there committed by Pouliot. Good sportsmanship on display between Pouliot and Connor Langdon as he took that shove from the backside. That's big. It's not going to be a penalty, but it is a procedural call against Pouliot that gives the ball back to Felician. They can hold for 1 now, as the shot clock 4 seconds ahead of the game clock here. Oh, but a big stick check. Losing the ball on the play is Langdon. It's loose. It's scooped up by Karras and the Eagles. John Karras, what a day for the freshman out of Huntington Beach, California. Waller clears it ahead. Waller has stopped 7 of the 10 shots on goal he has seen this afternoon, and now Post University has a chance to execute late and take a 12-3 lead into the half. Bryant, 5 goals today. To Denike, 5 points today. To Brian, shot is saved. Grebe, it was a rough start for him. He is now up to 3 saves this afternoon. Ulysses had it, lost it. Oh, and then he takes a hit. He never saw the ball. McCarty scoops it up. Has the open lane, fakes the pass, turns it around to Denike. 17 seconds now for the Eagles as Denike looks to the middle. It was McGrain. Couldn't get the shot off. Cook couldn't pick it up, and now Celentano runs it back the other way. Crocker's got 7 seconds as he takes a look at the scoreboard. Chops his feet. Finn Crocker, 3 seconds. 2 seconds, he's not going to get it off in time, and that'll take us to the halftime bell. It was a great start for Felician. Post answers back early and often, and they'll take an 8-goal lead to the halftime whistle. As we've reached halftime here at Lemoy Field, we'll take a quick look at the team's stats, and almost all of them favoring Post University. They've scored 11 goals. 9 of those 11 goals coming with assists. Post almost doubling up Felician in the shot department, 27-15. Felician is winning the ground ball battle 18-16, but they are just 9 of 12 clearing the ball, whereas Post 13 of 14. Felician's 60% advantage in the face-off circle. They've won 9 of this game's 15 draws, but it hasn't mattered because Aiden Waller has made 7 saves already for the Eagles, 4 saves in 15 opportunities for Nick Grebe. Very quickly, we'll pull up the individual numbers here. For the Golden Falcons, 2 goals for Jaden Rios, a goal for Finn Crocker, and an assist for Ethan Todner. For Post, get ready. The Big 5, they're doing what they do again today. Will Bryan, 4 goals. Robbie McGrain, 4 goals. Hunter McCarty, 1 goal. Van George, 1 assist. Here's where we're really dialed in. Leighton Cook now 6 points today with 1 goal and 5 assists. Ryan Denike, 5 points with 1 goal and 4 assists. So the Eagles offense, it took them a little minute to get started, but they're finding their stride right here. We'll take a break. It's halftime at Lemoy Field. We have 8.5 minutes left in the halftime intermission. So folks, go ahead, get comfortable, get up, stretch the feet, walk around, take an 8-minute break. Just make sure you're back 8 minutes from now for half number 2 at Lemoy Field. My name is Chris Del Sordo, and you are watching CACC Conference Lacrosse on the Nest Network. And we welcome you back into Lemoy Field. It's an 11-3 lead for Post University. 4 goals apiece for Robbie McGrain and Will Bryan and Leighton Cook in the middle of a 6-point game. He's only got 1 goal today, but the man is up to 5 assists. And Leighton Cook now sitting at 67 points on the campaign with 41 goals and 27 assists. How about a hat trick for Jaden Rios getting us started here? Gets the face-off win, takes it through the teeth of the Eagles defense. So Rios takes it through the defense after the faceoff win, gets it over to Connor Langdon, and Langdon finds Twine. That's a huge goal, and it's just what Felician did in the first half to get the scoring started. So Jaden Rios, a 3-point game now with 2 goals and an assist. And Connor Langdon, the talented redshirt freshman, up to 14 goals on the campaign. It's just what Felician needed. But how much will it help as the deficit still remains 7 goals? My name is Chris Del Sordo. You are tuned in to CACC Conference Lacrosse from Lemoy Field in Waterbury, Connecticut, live on the Nest Network here at Post University. Will Bryan could not be stopped in the first half to the tune of 4 goals for the Post Eagles. Hunter McCarty has been kind of effectively kept out of this game. He does have a pretty nice individual effort goal, but nothing else. Remember, he's 4 points away from 200 in his career. Roman lost his footing, but that frees up space for McGrain, and a big save for Grebe right in front of the net. It was a rough start for Grebe. He allowed 8 goals before making a save, but he has now made 5 saves on his last 8 shots faced. Now he'll help the clear efforts here as Rios flashes open, still has some Eagles to maneuver between, gets it across the line to Abrams, back to Rios, and then Rios having to do everything for Felician, but he gets the clear across for the Golden Falcons. Connor Langdon just scored that goal for the Golden Falcons. Up high to Nate Sopchak. Nate Sopchak, a true freshman, had Langdon, the redshirt freshman, to his right. Now here's a senior in Drew Geisinger. Behind the net to Todner. Rios looking for room. He's on an island away from the net. Marked by the freshman Gavin Lee, who's made a couple of brilliant defensive plays so far today. Under 20 on the shot clock here for Felician. Quick trigger shot there by Connor Langdon trying to find some open room. It doesn't test the frame as it goes wide to the near post. Play 80 is called here as it's Rios. Right-sided dodge, right-handed shot, misses wide. Closest to it for Felician is Connor Langdon. They have 5 to shoot. Looking to wind it in from directly behind the net. Is this enough time? Nope, they will loft it over. And they'll take the shot clock violation as the ball goes back to post. It was 11-3 at halftime. Felician scores a goal 4 seconds into the second half thanks to a Jaden Rios face-off win. That goal tucked home by Connor Langdon. Finn Crocker is 12th of the year. Connor Langdon is 14th. And Jaden Rios goals 17 and 18 on the campaign for Felician. They'll need another strong defensive possession here. As remember, all they needed, you get that first goal of the half, and it puts momentum into your hands. Although, unmarked is Cook all by himself. Denike launches the pass across the field to Cook. Cook, a little shoulder shimmy, and a 7-point game for the senior. 2 goals now next to his 5 assists, and the Eagles answer back. It's a 12-4 game. We're back live now as Leighton Cook, a 7-point outing. 2 goals, now 5 assists. Ryan Denike, 6 points, as he also has 5 assists. And Post University, leading from the front. If you're keeping track at home, Ryan DeNike is up to 43 points on the season. Hunter McCarty at 46, Robbie McGrain at 64, Leighton Cook has 68 points now. He came into this game with 61. 2 more, he'll get up to 70. That is 5 players that can get over the 40-point mark by the end of this contest today. Here's a chance for Brian. Wow, he puts it wide. DeNike was in line for his 6th assist of the afternoon. That shot taken goes just wide. Takes it behind the net. Now goes back to the strong hand. Quick pass behind. Oh, unmarked is McGrain. It's another Leighton Cook assist. Robbie McGrain's got 5 goals today. Everything Post is throwing at the Golden Falcons, going into the net. What a time to really hit your stride for the Post University Eagles. 2 quickies, and they're back up 9, 13-4. Well, Jaden Rios in the faceoff circle seems like the only hope for Felician to try and get back into this game, and a pretty move by Rios, throwing a head fake, drawing the penalty after the win. Langdon down low to Crocker, and it goes just wide, but it will lead to a man-up opportunity coming up here for the Golden Falcons. 1 minute slashing call against Post University. I think it's going to go against George. Yes, it is. So Van George takes the knee in the sin bin. 1 minute for slashing. Felician 1 for 2 on the extra man opportunities today. Post 2 for 3. You got to score here if you want to imagine yourself remaining in this contest. Geisinger. Liam Dunn, the long stick midi. In the offensive attack, long shot there, missing just high from Connor Langdon. He looks really comfortable letting it fly from distance. Similarly, Liam Dunn, there's a certain archetype of player, and Dunn fits it, of that hyper-talented defensive midfielder that plays with the long pole, but he looks just as comfortable cradling on offense. So he's one of the 6 in the EMO out here right now for the Golden Falcons. Dunn, over to Geisinger. Gets it back up top, thinks about the shot. Quickly around. That pass is deflected. It's another tip by Karras, and Karras gets the ground ball, and he's running the field by himself. John Karras, thinking shot, letting it fly, and the save is made by Grebe. Oh, that could have been a moment for the true freshman out of Huntington Beach, California. He's yet to score his first collegiate goal. Oh, wow. Violation there committed by Felician after it looked like they had gotten the ball back off the Eagles. That resets the shot clock to 80, and it allows Post University to comfortably kill off the final 8 seconds of this Van George penalty. Ryan DeNike out there with Will Bryan and Gabe Roman. As the penalty's over, McGrain, McCarty, and Cook. I mean, that's the standard 6 in the offensive side of the field for the Eagles. McCarty has to go down low to keep that pass alive. Fakes the pass to the middle. Bryan, over. Jab step here. Oh, spin move from DeNike. McCarty tucks it home. Leighton Cook, another assist. He was the beneficiary of some great footwork by DeNike, and Hunter McCarty now has 197 career points. Leighton Cook's got 9 points today and 69 on the season. And the Eagles quickly running up this lead. It's their largest of the day. They're up 10. Post University 14, Felician University 4. Leighton Cook in the middle of a 9-point day. He has 70 on the season, 42 goals, now 28 assists for the junior out of Orangeville, Ontario, Canada. That's so dangerous for the CACC that the Eagles get him for another year. Pass intercepted by Pouliot. He's made a couple of strong plays reading the passing lanes today for the Eagles defense. Ahead to Brown, Jalen Brown across for the clear for Post. McGrain, wow, he made that look easy, but then he shovels it back to Brown, trying to go between the legs on the pass, and it evades Jalen Brown and goes out. That is the first turnover of the second half for Post. That's the reason why they're leading by 10. 20 turnovers to 9 right now. That's the very first one in this second half of action for the Eagles. Coach Pat Iannarelli really lets the Eagles play with kind of a free-flowing approach. It doesn't seem like he's one of those coaches that gets militant about turnovers. If you're going to play loose and free and relaxed, you're going to turn the ball over. But we've seen those numbers get better and better as the year has gone on, as his team has gotten more and more comfortable under his tutelage. It was a 9-7 regular season for the Eagles last year. Chance to best that record this season as the Eagles playing a 16-game schedule. Lofted pass up here. William Henley onto the field for the first time today for the Eagles. Had to worry about taking that shot to the back, but he gets the clear across and gets it ahead to Leighton Cook. So welcome to the field, Mr. Henley, with a big play in his sophomore season, picking up the ground ball, getting the clear, and giving the Eagles a chance to take their first 11-goal lead of the contest. Remember, at one point, Felician led this game 1-0 and 2-1, but a very quick turnaround from that mark. The play call coming in from the Eagles bench, Toronto. And that's fitting. There's a lot of Canadians on this roster. Let's see what that call is as George takes the handoff from DeNike. Van George, 9 points this year in his true freshman campaign. Jab step, dodge, shot, score! Oh, he wanted it himself. He called his own number, and he's up to 10 points on the campaign. For the 5th time this season, Van George finding Twine. He's got a goal and an assist today, and Post University up 11. It's 15-4. Van George is the type of player that, you look at the Eagles roster, if they didn't have either a Robbie McGrain or a Hunter McCarty, he's going to fill in that 6th spot on the offensive rotation a lot more. As it is, he's a bit of a luxury. You can put him in the defensive midfield, you can let him dodge from up high, you can even put him behind the net on attack, and he'll pay it forward. A really good, multifaceted player who is developing quickly in his true freshman season. Another player, you mentioned that Leighton Cook is just in his junior year, so you get him for another season. How about 3 more years of Van George? That's a very exciting prospect to think about here at Lemoy Field. Will Bryan, Gabe Roman, Van George, all out there for the Eagles with Robbie McGrain, Hunter McCarty, and Leighton Cook. George, he's going to go to that same spot. Pass to Breu. Brady picks him up, so he slings it back to Will Bryan. High jab step here as Gabe Roman was looking for the pass. That's a great read by Jaden Harris. Intercepted, and look at him go right through the middle of the field on the clear. Harris, thinking shot, letting it fly, but it's right into the pocket of Waller, and this opens up space for the Eagles to run back the other way. George, not the cleanest corral of the pass, but he finds that's Roman in stride. Pass to McCarty, and the Eagles will get to orient their offense here. Oh, huge hit. Leighton Cook, Robbie McGrain takes an absolute shot, loses the ball in the process, and you see he has to take off a glove. He has to pull some of those turf pellets out of his face mask there. Tough shot from McGrain to take right in front of the net. Big play. It puts some life back into this Felician sideline. Can they turn it into a goal-scoring opportunity? Todd Nerda-Rios. Here is Jaden Rios. Been the man of the hour for Felician. He's been part of 3 of the 4 goals they have scored today. 2 goals and an assist for the sophomore out of Stony Point, New York. Behind the net with it is Langdon. Langdon's shot. It's deflected off the helmet of Jalen Brown. Right place, right time there for the Eagles. My apologies, that wasn't 28, that was 2-0. So Rob Torelli, you talk about using your head, he puts it to good use there. That shot never tests Aiden Waller. Waller, big game for him, the true freshman. He's only allowed 4 goals. He's made 8 saves. Well, broadcaster's jinx as Connor Langdon turns it over his right shoulder and finds Twine for the 2nd time today and the 15th time this season. The redshirt freshman from Shirley, New York, Connor Langdon, finding Twine on that right-handed shot. Felician gets one back to a 10-goal spread, post 15, Felician 5. Felician University, located in Rutherford, New Jersey. Maybe the centrally most located team of all the schools in the CACC. Feels like everywhere they're headed, the furthest drive is going to be about an hour and a half away. And so, versus we had Wilmington here last weekend. They were talking about they had a 5-hour drive to get back after they won their game in the women's lacrosse side. Felician, in a conference where geography really matters, they're the ones that get to use it to their advantage. Wow, and they had a chance to get that 9-goal spread back, and actually, Crocker keeps it in play, and that might be less beneficial for Felician as it allows Zane Parento and Post University to run the field here. Parento, the true freshman out of Coventry, Rhode Island, hands it off to Ryan DeNike. And the junior out of Putnam Valley, New York, looks to wind it back in. Roman is yet to record a point, although he has been a part of the offense in a large way today. Gets the swing pass back from DeNike. Denny behind the net to Hunter McCarty, a pair of Midwest residents joining forces here. McCarty has got 2 goals today. Roman thought about the long shot for a second. Now it's back to Ryan DeNike. Left-handed dodge, spins it back to the right-handed dodge. Hands are free. Angling around his defender. To the middle, McCarty. Well, Cook stepped into the crease, the post sideline, asking for the push foul. They won't get it. That's the 3rd time now a play has been blown dead by Post stepping into the crease. And now launching it down the field, Landon Santangelo, who just came into the game in net for Nick Grebe and Felician. Ball stays with the Golden Falcons thanks to the effort of Connor Langdon. Part of me hopes that the conversation we're having in front of us between the Eagles and Falcons sideline is got picked up there. You're going to have a lot of emotions on display in a 10-goal spread here with, I guess, 2.5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Felician had an opportunity there to make it a 9-goal game. Quickly turned over. Nick Gallery helps out with a clear. Wow, confusion here from the offensive unit for Felician as that's Drew Geisinger coming off the field asking his teammates, what were we doing on that last possession? And you can see Felician having a lot of team discussions here on the sideline. George for 2, and it goes just wide. McCarty backs it up, and still 47 seconds to shoot here for the Eagles. Whatever Langdon and Geisinger were disagreeing over, they quickly squashed whatever beef that they had. And so nice to see here as it's still an objective-based approach for Felician, trying to stay in this contest. It's a 10-goal lead for Post University. They've scored 4 more goals here in this 3rd quarter, but they were fueled by a big 7-goal 2nd quarter. Van George has a point and an assist today. One of the top 7 point getters. There are 7 players for Post University with 10 points. But really, there's a big 5 players, and now they all have over 40 points on the season. Cook, trying to make it a 10-point game. He had the ball for longer than he anticipated to have it. It will squirt out wide where it's picked up by Joseph Celentano. Oh, big stick check there by DeNike. Ball will stay with the Eagles after DeNike forces the turnover. Nobody picks up McGrain on the restart, but he had some trouble finding that pass, and so instead of opting for the shot, he looks over in the direction of Van George. Head fake for Will Bryan. McCarty wants it behind the net. Ask and you shall receive with 60 to shoot. One-on-one between McCarty and Oliva. Back out to Bryan. Nobody picking up Ryan DeNike. The sideline asks to give it to him. The Eagles oblige. And here's Ryan DeNike back from Van George. Seems like Post doesn't mind winding out some of this clock here to get us closer to the end of the quarter. McCarty into the middle. Cook robbed. Big stop there by Santangelo, but the ball finds George. He fakes the pass to Cook, has a man in the middle, twister shot from Bryan. It never gets towards the frame of net. McCarty is able to keep the possession alive, but no shot clock reset. DeNike thought about the long shot. Cook, jab step, left-handed shot. It's low. Santangelo 2 for 2 in save opportunities today for the Golden Falcons. Landon Santangelo, a sophomore out of Montgomery, New York, coming in with just a 38.5 save percentage, but he's 2 for 2 this afternoon, and it gives the Golden Falcons one more chance to get a goal before the end of the quarter. Rios turns, gets the pass to Dayton. Here's a chance. 4 to shoot, 3 to shoot. Crocker is robbed by Aiden Waller, and that'll take us to the end of the third quarter. Felicians had to do a lot, and even when they do get the impressive pass from Rios to Dayton, Aiden Waller stands tall and makes his 9th save of the game. Post University, a little bit of a statement this afternoon to the rest of the CACC. They cannot get one of the top 2 seeds. If they win this game, they lock themselves into the playoffs, where a 3 seed, 4 seed, or a 5 seed will be up for grabs. Hypothetically, if Post University wins today, make sure I have this right, and Holy Family loses, then Post cannot get the 5 seed, and they'll be tucked in at either 3 or 4. And that would mean that the game on Saturday in Philadelphia at Chestnut Hill College will be for the 3 seed. We'll worry about that when the time comes, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 1 minute with the 4th and final quarter from Lemoy Field. At the end of the third quarter, Post University 15, Felician University 5. My name is Chris Del Surdo, and you are watching coverage of CACC Conference Lacrosse from Post University on the Nest Network. Well, you don't normally see this, but at the end of every quarter in NCAA lacrosse, the referees check one player from each team's stick to make sure the equipment is legal. James Sproul, the guilty party for Post University, he's called for an illegal equipment, and serving his penalty is Gavin Lee. And so 1 minute on the board here, unreleasable, as that's the first illegal stick penalty I've seen in about 3 years. I've seen it before, but you only get those every so often. It opens the door ever so slightly for the Golden Falcons, and they get an extra man opportunity here, although the pass is deflected in the midfield. What a recovery from Karras. It looked like the Eagles were going to give it away in the midfield, and the freshman from Huntington Beach, California, having himself a day. 4 ground balls, now 4 caused turnovers as well, and another easy clear, and Post will be able to kill off this illegal equipment penalty. Cook behind the net to Hunter McCarty. We're still on milestone watch for McCarty. He hasn't been that big of a part of the Eagles' offense today. He does have 2 goals, but no assists, so he's still 3 points away from 200 in his college career. What's he going to do? Oh, he makes his defender drop. Wide open and a goal. Well, hold the phone because Hunter McCarty gets the beautiful assist. That's a highlight reel play as he makes Jim Ulysses eat some turf in the process. Ryan DeNike tucks home that goal. It is his 2nd of the game, 14th of the season. McCarty with 3 points as he gets his first assist of the day, and Post up 16-5. So Hunter McCarty showing the moves off to get that assist, and he does have 198 career points. So really at this point, I think I can speak for all of us, all eyes on number 51 in silver to see if he can get to the 200 career point mark this afternoon. George, fakes the pass to Pouliot. Takes the cross. That was very close to offsides, but Pouliot was able to get himself over the line in time. Leighton Cook winds it back in. Feels almost ho-hum to mention this, but just another 9-point game for Leighton Cook with 2 goals and 7 assists today. He came in with 61 points. He's up to 70 now on the campaign. And remember, this is just the 13th game of the season for Post, so he'll get out of here averaging more than 5 points a contest after another strong showing. McCarty into the middle, another goal. It's Leighton Cook. He's got a hat trick. McCarty's next point will be the 200th of his collegiate career. Post running it up for the 2nd game in a row. They lead 17-5. Folks, I tell you what, the broadcaster's jinx is kind of real. I just mentioned, 10 minutes ago that Felician hadn't scored. Right when I said it, Connor Langdon scored his 2nd of the afternoon. Then we talk about Hunter McCarty not being a big part of the Eagles' offense. Hold that thought. 2 assists in a row for the grad transfer. He has 4 points today now with 2 goals and 2 assists. Leighton Cook has 10 points today with 3 goals and 7 assists. And I have a feeling we will probably be talking to those two after this game comes to an end. But for the time being, we still have 12 minutes left to go here at Lemoy Field. Post University leading 17-5. Another save for Waller as he robs Luke Dayton again. Aiden Waller. Blinking, you would have missed it. He has made 12 saves in this contest and allowed only 5 goals. His numbers are already downright stellar on the season. They're only going to get even better after this game today. Brown and Lee joining forces to get that clear across for Post. That's been another aspect of the game that Post has really controlled. Felician 15 of 19 on clears. Post has had 8 more opportunities. They've gone 25 of 28. Here comes Brian. To Ryan DeNike. Screen set for DeNike as he angles it all the way back across the field. Now they'll loop it back the other way to Will Bryan. Bryan, jab step. Bryan shovels it over to McGrain. All the way across to Roman. Thought about the long right-handed shot. Now McGrain tucked it. Cook had it. Couldn't get the shot off. It looked like he might have thought about it too long. But McGrain backing up the play. Picks it back up. 32 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Hunter McCarty. 199 career collegiate points, looking for 200. It's a McCarty party at Lemoy Field. Hunter McCarty with the hat trick. He's got 3 today and 28 on the season, and there it is, his 200th career point, and he does it with a little bit of flair. Post University, their largest lead of the game, they're up 18-5. A moment to remember as they save that ball. 200 career points for Hunter McCarty and an 18-5 lead for the Eagles. neither of these rosters, when you look at both Post and Felician, they don't have a lot of depth, right? You start 10 players on each side. The Eagles have a 24-man roster today. Felician has a 20-man roster today. So most of the time when you get a game like this, you're going to take the starters off the field and let the backups kind of take this thing in for a landing. Neither team has enough depth to do that. So Post, you got to play out the string, and this gives them an opportunity to really boost some stats here for their first-string contributors. How about a 13th save for Aiden Waller as this one bounds wide? Two Eagles colliding with each other, though, and I believe that was contact on Felician, so it'll stay with the Golden Falcons with 38 seconds still to shoot. Oh, no, it was not a procedural call. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty against Gavin Lee. Unfortunately for him, that is the third time he has been in the sin bin. Now, once he was serving the James Sproul penalty, but because it's his second personal foul penalty, he's stuck in the box for a minute, and we have to wait and see if he will be allowed back into the game after this. You know, that's a new mandate in NCAA lacrosse. If you get 2 one-minute penalties, then the referees, on their discretion, can disqualify a player from the game. I don't think we're dealing with that here, but it's another man-up opportunity coming up for the Golden Falcons. They are 1 of 5 on the EMO today. They were a team very solid on the extra man coming into action at 30%. Nobody's better than Post, who is now at 37% on the season. But just 1 for 5 in their extra man opportunities. We've got 10 minutes left to go at Lemoy Field. Post University, after a fun 18-11 win on Saturday, running away with this one 18-5. The biggest moment just recorded as Hunter McCarty came into this season with 150 career points after playing 4 years at NAIA's Concordia University. You leave NAIA with 150 points to join NCAA Division II, where he has run up 50 points this season. Aiden Waller is stopping everything for the Eagles. That is his 14th save of the afternoon, robbing the shot from Langdon, who does have 2 goals today. Oh, that is illegal for Post University. On the ball there was Liam Dunn. He gets run over, and I believe the backside of his legs got caught up on the play. You can see apologies being issued by the Post University team, as this isn't good. We have a player down on the field. We're going to take a break here from Lemoy Field. 9:28 left to go, Post 18, Felician 5. So right now it's a 6-on-4 for Felician. That's about to go to a 6-on-5. And there is the extra man goal from far away for Luke Dayton. High to low and a snipe for Felician as they put one back on the board. The first penalty expired, but the second penalty is an unreleasable penalty, so it's going to be a man-up goal here for Felician, and they'll still have 58 more seconds with a man-up. So, yes, you can credit that goal to Luke Dayton, the second man-up goal of the day for Felician. For Luke Dayton, he's been around the net a lot this afternoon. That's his 14th goal, and Ethan Todner, assist number 2 of the day. And Todner now 16 points on the campaign as he has 9 goals and 7 assists. Felician back into the offensive zone as both of those Eagles penalties were unreleasable. And so this allows 35 more seconds with a man up, a chance for more, and a snipe. Connor Langdon is second of the afternoon as Jaden Rios up to a 4-point game. He gets the assist. Gotta feel good for Felician. They've been fighting hard in this contest. It feels like the run that the Eagles went on, it was in the run of play. I don't know if that 18-5 lead was. So 2 back, rightfully so for the Golden Falcons. And they make it an 11-goal spread, 18-7. So 2 big days today for Felician's Connor Langdon and Jaden Rios. It's a hat trick for the redshirt freshman Langdon. He's up to 16 goals on the season. Rios with 2 goals and 2 assists. He now double digits in goals and assists, 18 and 10. He's up to 28 points on the campaign. Maybe a chance for Jaden Rios to find 30 points on the season in this contest. We'll see as Felician winds it back into their offensive perimeter. Rios has been stellar in the center circle. Last 2 shots have gotten past Aiden Waller after, at one point, he had made 13 saves and allowed just 5 goals. Todner looking for his 3rd assist. Oh, wow, robbery on the play as Crocker tries to go over the shoulder. Waller makes his 14th save, but he's got it back. Crocker out to the middle for Langdon. George with a big hit. Ball stays with Jaden Rios, but his pass evades Ethan Todner. And the Eagles defense, they allow 2 goals in on the extra man opportunity, but they lock it back down in the 6-on-6 play, and we'll go back the other way with 8 minutes remaining. That pass over the head of Roman, it's angling over the sideline, and it does go out of bounds. It hasn't been the cleanest game for Post University. Yes, they are leading this game by 11 goals, but you can see Coach Gianarelli, it must feel like it's getting away from them a little bit, so he takes the timeout on the field. That turnover, the 18th of the game committed by Post, 27 of them committed by Felician. We have 7:54 left to go in this contest. We'll take one more break here. You are watching CACC Conference Lacrosse from Post University in Waterbury, Connecticut on the Nest Network. My name is Chris Del Sordo, and we'll be back with more after this break. We'll wind it back into play. The Felician Golden Falcons on the ball. They trail the Post University Eagles in this CACC conference contest by a score of 18-7. Hat trick today for Connor Langdon. 2 goals and 2 assists for Jaden Rios. Meanwhile, for Post University, 5 goals for Robbie McGrain, 4 goals for Will Bryan, 10 points for Leighton Cook with 3 goals and 7 assists. Make it 11 points for Leighton Cook. No, it's not over the line. It got behind the goalie on the play, not over the line, as this is the 3rd different goalie in net for Felician. Rory O'Connor making his debut this season for the Golden Falcons right now. The true freshman out of Newport, Rhode Island. That's the very first shot he's seen as a collegiate goalie, and he's 1 for 1 saving the shots. Can his defensive effort lead to a goal on the other end for Felician? Up until this point, it had only been Nick Grebe and Landon Santangelo getting playing time in net for the Golden Falcons. But there is Rory O'Connor, 1 for 1 on the save in his collegiate career. 34 to shoot here, as it's Nate Sobchak angling it behind the net. Rios. He decided, it felt like maybe he was changing from a shot to a pass. Is able to sell it as a shot enough with Crocker closest to it that the ball will stay with the Golden Falcons. Big stick check behind the play. Crocker's able to scoop it back up. Now he evades both Gallery and George. Up high to Todner. Nate Sobchak asking for it. Behind the far post. Dances his feet from the X. Eyes towards the middle of the field. Spins back, 7 to shoot, and it's intercepted. Into the game, Dominic Zakelli for Post University, and he causes the turnover for the Eagles. So Aiden Waller's day is done after 52 minutes of work. Ends his day with 14 saves and 7 goals allowed. And this impressive freshman season, it only gets better after that outing for Waller. McCarty looks like he's headed back into the offensive fray here for Post, and now they decide to change their mind, and instead it's DeNike that will be the 6th man into the equation. Onto the field for the first time, Luke Karras. His younger brother John, the starting defender. Luke, a midfielder that's come off the bench. This is his 3rd game he's seen appearances in. He has 1 point off of an assist. Denny wants that right-handed shot, takes it. That's the 2nd save made by Rory O'Connor. Oh, backside check. It is Karras. And will this stay with the Eagles? Yes, it will. Big play for Luke Karras in his sophomore season out of Huntington Beach, California. Wins the ball back to the Eagles. We're getting down near the 5-minute mark. Connor Denny to Luke Karras. Two-man game here is Karras and Denny keeping it on the left side of the Eagles' offensive perimeter. Man flashing open, Thomas Simunovic. Another save by Rory O'Connor. He has seen 3 shots now in his collegiate career. He's stopped all 3 of them, and the Eagles with a fresh 60 on the shot clock to rewind their offense. Connor Denny gets the wind back in. Tomas Simunovic on the field for Post. Kind of occupying the space right in the middle of the offense where we normally see Robbie McGrain. Now he runs off. Oh, brilliant little cradle there by Karras. Fakes the pass over to DeNike. DeNike all the way across. Can't get the shot off. Was Godbout. Here's Zane Parento. He always looks so froggy with it whenever he's tasked with clearing the ball through the midfield. Nice to see 5-0 in the offensive 6 here. Sets a screen for Godbout. And Post University content with really winding all the time off the clock this possession. Deneke, had Simunovic. It goes just over his head. It'll stay with the Eagles, 10 to shoot. Godbout, long shot, just misses the top right corner. Shot clock resets, and that's beautiful for Post, as they already down to 3:40 left to go in this game, continuing to wind some clock. 18-7 to score. The 2 most recent goals scored by Felician's Connor Langdon, who does have a hat trick today. Leighton Cook has a hat trick and 7 assists. Robbie McGrain, 5 goals. Will Bryan, 5 goals. Ryan DeNike, a goal and 5 assists. And Hunter McCarty, 5 points today and 200 now in his career with 3 goals and 2 assists. That pass over to DeNike. Turnover forced by the Felician defense. Giving them some credit here. They forced 18 turnovers now for Post. Post takes the timeout as it looks like they're going to empty their bench onto the field, and it allows Felician a free opportunity to do the same thing. We'll see how both teams opt to finish this thing out. 3:22 left to go in the contest. Post University leading Felician 18-7. We'll take our final break and be back to wrap this thing up after this on the Nest Network. Welcome back to Lemoyne Field. 3:22 left to go in this contest. Felician going to be clearing it up the length of the field. They've scored this game's two most recent goals. Felician coming in with a 3-7 record and a 1-4 record in the CACC. They still have 2 games remaining on their conference schedule. When you look at the top of the CACC, it's Georgian Court and Wilmington University, 6-1 and 6-0 respectively. They have already locked in the top 2 seeds in the CACC conference playoffs, which means the first round games will be held at Wilmington U and Georgian Court. Right now it's Chestnut Hill and Post at 3rd and 4th, and they play each other on Saturday. This result's going to hold, which means that the winner of that game will get the 3 seed. Unfortunately, if you're Post, that makes you then decide, do we want to lose that game and get the 4 seed? Because remember, in the CACC, 5 teams make the playoffs, and you play a 4 versus 5 play-in, which means you can get yourself a home playoff game, or do you try and win that game and get yourself a matchup against Georgian Court, a team that you played close but lost by 4-2 earlier in the season? Time will tell how the Eagles elect to play that, but they're playing out the string here, and a turnover forced by Henley. Henley running the field. Simunovic bodies up his defender shot. Rory O'Connor has made 4 saves now in his collegiate debut, and the Eagles still have not gotten one past him. It's spring football practice season here at Post University, and so we see the football team, they're waiting here on the sideline of Lemoyne Field for their daily practice. George spins off his defender, has some room. Simunovic quickly over, going down to one knee. Luke Karras, he keeps it in front of him. Has Connor Denny behind the net. Instead, Karras drags the cradle over. Parento sets the screen. He fakes the pass to Parento. Winding dodge, shot low, and it's a goal for Luke Karras. Finding twine for the first time this season. The sophomore out of Huntington Beach, California. He wanted that one. A lot of moves to get to that right-handed shot. That's the first shot that has gotten past Rory O'Connor in his collegiate debut. It's Karras' first goal, and the Eagles up 12, 19-7. "100 seconds left in the contest as Luke Karras, well, the last 2 goals were rather milestone for Post. The most recent goal was the hat-trick goal scored by Hunter McCarty for his 200th career point. Now Luke Karras, his first career goal. Nolan Martin into the net for Post. So all 4 goalies on the Post roster have now gotten into this game. Torelli on the clear for the Eagles. He's across cleanly. About a 15-second difference, my apologies, between the shot clock and the game clock. So Post is going to have to get a shot off. It means they, have to take advantage of this opportunity to try and score a 20th goal. Let's see if Luke Karras can go 2 for 2 here. Here comes the sophomore out of Huntington Beach, California. One-on-one on Shane Abrams. Fakes the left-handed pass. Ball on the right-handed cradle. George has a goal and an assist today. Head fake. Dodging right past his defender. Hands-free, right-handed shot, misses high. And Rory O'Connor wins the race to the ball. So this is going to be a game to remember for the freshman out of Newport, Rhode Island, Rory O'Connor. Yes, he has allowed 1 goal, but he stopped the first 4 shots that he saw in his collegiate debut. And he's filled in the space between the pipes admirably for Felician. Abrams now on the offensive end for the Golden Falcons. Geisinger, 4 points on the season. Maybe looking for 1 more as we're running out of time here at Lemoyne Field. With this win, Post University will move to 8-5 overall, 5-2 in the CACC conference, and they will lock up a spot in the 2025 CACC playoff bracket. The loss will drop to Felician to 3-8, and they fall to 1-5 in the CACC, and that will eliminate them from playoff consideration. 1 second. Buzzer sounds, and that will do it. Post University is playoff bound in the 2025 season. Hunter McCarty records his 200th career point, and it's a 10-point game for Leighton Cook. Post University 19, Felician University 7. We have gone final here at Lemoy Field. Don't go anywhere, because after this break, we will have an interview with the newly minted 200-point man, Hunter McCarty, joining us on the Nest Network right after this.
Only connected.
All right, and we are back live on the Nest Network with the man of the hour. with an accomplishment a long time coming. Hunter McCarty joining us today on the Nest Network. 3 goals, 2 assists today. That gets you to 50 points on this season, which is a big enough accomplishment, but 200 points in your collegiate career. It takes a lot of help, a lot of effort, a lot of grinding to get to that mark. So I just want to give you the mic here as you have this opportunity. Anybody in particular that you want to celebrate or focus in on, or people that helped you get to this mark in your lacrosse career?
Yeah, I want to thank my teammates. I mean, I couldn't do it without them. I mean, half my goals are coming assisted, so definitely owe it to them. I also want to owe it to my family. I mean, I've been through 2 ACL surgeries, so their support and caring through my whole process of getting to this point definitely helped, and I'm forever grateful for that.
Well, so you mentioned those ACL surgeries, not 1, but 2. I'm sure it goes without saying you probably had some dark moments in there. What did you do? What did you use to kind of keep your eyes on the prize to get yourself back in game shape, not once but twice in your lacrosse career?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same answer, just friends, family, and coaches, leadership. I mean, they all helped me. I couldn't do it just myself, so I'm forever grateful for the support group I have.
You started your career at Concordia, an NAIA school in the Midwest. Now look at yourself. You're here at an NCAA D2 institution in Connecticut. My man, that's quite a journey. How did you find yourself finding these opportunities? And did you have any trepidation in taking this move, making this move out here to play at Post?
Yeah, it was definitely a hard move. I love the guys back at Concordia and my coach. They definitely did a lot of great things for me, but Coach Ian took a chance on me, and I'm forever grateful for that. And it's a great group of guys to play with and a great support system here, so definitely was a hard move, but happy I made it.
And your play right now with Post, the way that they have you anchored in this offense, I mean, it's clear that it's a big 5. It feels like you're out there almost every play. They have you operating from the attack spot behind the X. Is that familiar for you? Is that where you were in Concordia? And then what's it like getting to survey the field with players like Robbie McGrain, Leighton Cook, and Ryan DeNike out there?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I've always been throughout my career, so it's definitely, I'm used to the position. Playing with all those great guys, they hold you to a high standard, so it's hard sometimes to play to it, but definitely grateful for them, and they pushed me to be the best player and the player I am now.
Last thing, because I know, big moment, you want to celebrate with your teammates. You're in your grad season. You guys did just lock up a spot in the CACC playoffs. You know, what would it mean for you to come in here in your first year, in your 1 year at Post, and really make a statement and lead this team further into a playoff run?
I mean, it would be awesome. Just the love I have for these guys, doing something like that for them would be great. And but we're just thinking next game, next play right now.
He comes onto campus, and what do you know? 28 goals, 22 assists on the season, with some more to come. Hunter McCarty, thank you so much.
You.
Congratulations for joining us on the Nest Network. Final score today, Post 18, Felician 7, and this man has 50 points on the season and 200 in his career. We'll see you guys next time on the Nest Network.
Thank you.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Have a great rest